What's going on, everybody? Week 6 college football, NFL week 5. Let's get right into it. I want to start off with my favorite team in college football, the Florida Gators. Huge win this weekend, man. Huge win. I was going crazy during that game the whole time. I mean, I felt coming into it, of course, Auburn's a good team. I said coming when I saw Bo Nix play a couple games, and I saw his QBR rating and all the actual stats, him against the like pressure defense. That's all we do. We always bring in, different schemes, different looks, different blitzes. That's what Florida does. They confuse you. We did that a lot with Bo Nix, and we exposed him. We really did. We exposed Bo Nix and saw that he's not the passer that we thought he was. Because I mean, the stats were already like they were all the proof was in the pudding, like they say. Proof was in the pudding. So Bo Nix couldn't beat us with his arm. I think he had 3 picks. Defense played outstanding, which I think is like I said before in a couple of my videos. I think our defense, we can ride our defense far, man. Well, I'm telling you, our defense is really good. They're really, really talented. The front seven is really talented. But man, when you go to the back, starting off the season, we did have some questions. We lost a lot of people to the draft, but it's starting to come together with Donovan Steiner, Sean Davis. I mean, all those guys. Of course, Marco Henderson back. It just looks it's feeling. I ain't been down to Gainesville this year, but it's feeling. I could tell it's feeling different. It's looking different down there. But that was a huge game. Trash got a little knee injury. I think his left knee. He ended up coming back in the game. Emory Jones came in playing well, but that's a little thing to look at. Kyle Trask did. He played pretty good though, man. Other than the fumbles, the offensive line has to be still offensive line. Obviously, I mean people's D lines they've been punishing our offensive line, and they punish us again. Couple couple huge fumbles for Auburn in that game, but our defense kept us in it. They prevailed, and it was a huge win, man. I love seeing it. I love watching it. I love P. Ryan going for 88 yards. He needed to get going. He did that against Auburn. Huge test traveling to Baton Rouge, going to Death Valley next week. That's going to be huge. I think game day already announced that they're going to be down there. So, man, LSU actually they beat Utah State this week. Um, Moving on to a couple other games, Oklahoma State got upset by Texas Tech. I'm gonna watch a little bit of that. Texas Tech, they kept scoring the ball. Oklahoma State couldn't stop them. I did see Chuba Hubbard run for I think 150 and 2 or 3 touchdowns. So and then Wisconsin beat Kent State easily. I think Jonathan Taylor had 4 touchdowns in the first half, first quarter. Penn State blew out Purdue. Michigan, Big Ten football, 10-3 over Iowa. Oklahoma, I was watching that game actually. The beginning of it, it looked like Kansas was gonna it's like they came to play. I think they were up, but Oklahoma pulled away. Jalen Hurts still my Heisman front runner right now, 45-20. Texas, they beat West Virginia. They started to pull away in that game. Notre Dame steamrolled Bowling Green. Um, Georgia beat Tennessee. They pulled away, but at the beginning of the game, I think close to the end of the second quarter, Tennessee was actually up 14-10, but I mean Georgia's Georgia right now. They've been punishing people, and Tennessee's really not they're not the opponent. SMU actually came back and beat Tulsa. I caught a little bit of that game. They were down like I think it was 23-24 to like 3. I was like, man, but it was early second quarter, so SMU did pull that out in overtime. Ohio State handled Michigan State. Justin Fields had a great day again. I mean, I saw that. Unless Michigan State defense just came to play out of their mind. Ohio State looking real good right now. Let me know if y'all think. Also, let me know if y'all think Florida's gonna jump into the top 5 after that win over number 7 Auburn. Um, Oregon beat California 17-7. 10:30 game, Washington and Stanford. Stanford actually upset Washington in that one. Stanford's kind of been struggling, but I think David Shaw got those guys head on right, and they're ready. try to make something out of that season because they got already 2 or 3 losses. And we'll see how Washington bounce back with Jacob Eason and only putting up 13 points. We'll see what they do next week if they play. And Boise State ended up beating UNLV 38-13. It was easy. That was easy. Well, that's the top 25 teams. I know that Miami Virginia Tech game, they're not top 25, but I was watching that game and it was pretty good. Virginia Tech was actually down 20, or Virginia Tech was actually up 28-0 on Miami at one point. Miami came back and made that a ball game. DJ Dallas, Miami running back, he kind of ran over Florida. He had a good game, big run to tie the game up, but Virginia Tech went right down the field and scored on them again. That's my college football. I really want to talk about the Gators a little bit. Huge win for us. That was a huge win. It was amazing watching that. But I've been telling people, man, I really feel like it's different down there in Gainesville. I really do. But there's still a lot of season left. Still got to play LSU, Georgia. Got to go to South Carolina. I may be at that game, so that's gonna be. We're gonna see how it plays out, man. Moving over to NFL Week 5. Let's go. Seahawks beat the Rams on Thursday night. I think the Seahawks defense is pretty good, man. The Rams are. I mean, they're still scoring points. I don't know. It's just the defense isn't there like we thought it was gonna be. Todd Gurley, he's been doing pretty good the past couple weeks. Just the carries and the rushes, the rushing yards isn't as high as fantasy owners would like it. Because I sure was like, oh man, I traded him away for Mack and Mixon. So we'll see how that plays out as well. Today, some of the 1 o'clock games. Starting off with the Jets and the Eagles. I like the Eagles in that one. I don't think the Jets got to win yet. They probably need a win, but I like the Eagles. I think they're a better team right now. I think they do have a lot of defensive cornerbacks that are out, injured, a lot of injuries right now. So be cautious of that because anything can happen, really, in the NFL. But I want to say I go with the Eagles now. The Jags play the Panthers today. We're going to see how Fournette does against that Panthers defense, how McCaffrey does. He's been going off for fantasy owners. Gardner Minshew. See if DJ Chark can get back into the end zone this week after having one call back last week, actually. We're going to see how which Panthers receiver continue to emerge as the number one, because right now it doesn't really seem like they have a number one. DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. It just seems like they're still looking for that number one. I mean, they got a nice committee of guys. I feel like they still need that big number one. Jags defense is good as well. I want to go Panthers, though. I think their defensive line is a little better. I think they're going to have a couple turnovers this game to turn the tide of the game. I like the Panthers in that one. Vikings, Giants. Ooh. Vikings. I think I got the Vikings in that one. Dalvin Cook, from a fantasy perspective, has been unreal. Thielen and Diggs. Diggs hasn't really been doing anything this year. Thielen is still doing his things, getting catches, getting touchdowns. Kirk Cousins kind of off this year. I mean, he got a huge contract, going there. He hasn't really lived up to the expectations, I think, that they want him to. So we're going to see how he plays against this Giants team, who I think they are 2-2. I'm not sure Barkley's playing. I did see a video of him on Twitter, which looked very promising that he'll be back in the next week or two, if he doesn't play this week. I mean, he was Euro stepping. He was usually Euro stepping at practice, looking phenomenal. So watch out for those, Danny Dimes, they say. Daniel Jones, he's got to start now, so we'll see. I like the Vikings, though. I still think the Giants need to get their defense a little better. With the Falcons and the Texans, man, the Falcons have been struggling lately. They really have. But I mean, the Texans offensive line is really suspicious. Deshaun's having to roll out. He's taking a lot of hits, taking sacks. I think the Texans can outscore the Falcons, though. I think DeAndre Hopkins gets back on track. Julio's gonna probably have a big day. See if Calvin really can get back on track. See if Will Fuller. See if he's kind of a boom or bust guy this week, playing against the Falcons. we'll see. I like the Texans in that one. Um, Jameis Winston and the Buccaneers versus Teddy Bridgewater, Taysom Hill, and the boys down in New Orleans, the Saints. Man, the Bucks just came off of an impressive win against the Rams, so I'm not, I'm not just gonna count them out against the Saints. But the Saints don't look like they really. Ever since the Drew Brees injury, it seems like they still kind of know who they are. They have Teddy Bridgewater. They got Taysom Hill if they want to throw him in there. So they're still looking good. Defense played very well against Dallas. I like the Saints in that one. Kamara, I think he gets his touches. We'll see if see how good the Saints defense plays this week against Jameis. Jameis had over 350 yards the past couple weeks. I think it was from a fantasy point. So we'll see if he can still get Mike Evans and Godwin. You know, see if he can still get them a bunch of targets, catches, yards like they've been getting the past couple weeks. Michael Thomas, I think he'll be all right with Teddy Bridgewater. I think the Saints are going to be just fine. The Bills Titans, another 1 o'clock game. Ooh, it's hard. Those are both kind of defensive teams. Maybe the Titans have a little more offense. I think the Bills might have a little more offense because they're actually playing New England pretty good last week. I want to say the Bills. I say the Bills defense wins them that game. I really do. I like the Titans though. I like their defense as well. I think they get maybe some turnovers. Josh Allen. I still think he's progressing as a good young quarterback in the league. We'll see how their receivers do. Cole Beasley. We'll see Frank Gore. I don't know if Singletary's playing. We'll see about him. We'll see if Mariota can pass the ball, get it to Delaney Walker. They're gonna rely heavy on Derrick Henry. So, from a fantasy perspective, I don't think any other receivers. Maybe AJ Brown. I mean, Corey Davis isn't terrible, but we got to see where Mariota takes them. It really relies on him. The Cardinals and the Bengals. I don't think either one of these teams have a win yet. I saw the Bengals the other night against Pittsburgh. The offense didn't look. It looked kind of stagnant. Didn't look great. Andy Dalton, every time he dropped back, he was getting blown up. So the Cardinals aren't the best team. I don't even know who to pick in this game, really, man. I like Kyler Murray. I want to say the Cardinals win this. Larry Fitz, Christian Kirk. That's a hard game to pick, man. I want to say Cardinals though, but the Bengals are pretty good from a fantasy perspective. Joe Mixon, I like him. I had actually just acquired him on my team. Of course, Kyler Murray, those receivers. I like Mixon. Still got to look out for John Ross and Tyler Boyd, but I think it'll be a decent game. Couple more games we have are the Pats and the Redskins. I think the Pats. I want to say blow them out, but I don't think it's going to be as close as the Bills game was for the Patriots this week. I think Tom Brady gets back on track from a fantasy perspective. I think Edelman. I think he was questionable. I think he's playing. Had the ribs. And Josh Gordon. James White. From a fantasy standpoint, those are some of the plays I would play. I have Tom Brady actually as my quarterback. He's been doing pretty good this year, except for last week. I think y'all know that last week it was a low amount of points. I think it was like 4 or 5. It was pretty disappointing. But you got to bounce back. You got to bounce back this week against Washington, which I think he's gonna do. AP, he's been starting for the Redskins. I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's the O-line or if it's him, because he still has some fight in him and some dog in him. It looks like, but the Redskins I think they're starting Colt McCoy this week as well. We'll see how that turns out. See if Dwayne Haskins gets another chance again. The starter's hurt, so we'll see. Or Case Keenum actually got benched, I think. So we'll see about that one. But I like the Patriots. Ravens Steelers. I think that's a huge game for the Steelers. I think they need to win that game. It's gonna be hard because Lamar. Lamar's freaking dual threat. Throw the ball, run the ball. Defense is good. Steelers are playing better though. They look pretty good on Monday night. It was the Bengals, but they're looking better. Look like they got getting the offense going. Defense coming together. Defense getting sacks, stopping the run. I want to go with the Steelers, man. I want to say I got the Steelers in that one. The Ravens, though, man, they gonna come to play. Lamar go do his thing, but the Steelers need that one. Save Tomlin too, man. The Bears, Raiders. I like the Bears in this one. Don't count out the Raiders, man. They just came off a win against Indianapolis Colts. So watch out for the Raiders, man. They're looking all right. Waller, the tight end, he's been playing good. Tyrell Williams been catching touchdowns. Josh Jacobs is doing pretty good. The Bears defense is playing outstanding, out of this world. Mitchell Trubisky's healthy. We'll see how he's continue progresses. I think Chase Daniel's starting though actually, but we'll see how that offense goes. Allen Robinson, Tyreek Cohen, see if they can get Montgomery, more touches because he really looks explosive. He really looks like a good every down back. But I think the Bears defense win them that game as they as they have been doing. Going to the 4 o'clock games, the Broncos Chargers. I feel like the Broncos always give Chargers fits. Chargers do have Melvin Gordon back though. They're gonna, probably give him a lot of carries, but Eckler at the backfield is still gonna be, PPR heaven. He's gonna be getting his catches. So I think I like the Chargers in that one. Keenan Allen gets back on track after having a kind of off week against the Miami Dolphins last week. The Broncos, I don't think they have a win. Joe Flacco, we're still trying to see who he is. We haven't seen that MVP in him that he had that year with the Baltimore Ravens. But it's early in the season, very early in the season. Any team can get things turned around, get it going. So we'll see. But I like the Chargers in that one. 4:25, we got the Packers and the Cowboys. Whew. Packers got some injuries, man. Jamal Williams isn't playing. Devontae Adams is out. My buddy said, though, he doesn't think the Cowboys defense is actually that good. I kind of think they were, but maybe they down to earth. But the Packers defense is just, they're definitely there. The Packers defense is there this year. They've been keeping them in games, winning them games, beat Chicago with their defense, really, and a little bit of Aaron Rodgers. But I want to say I got the Packers in this one, man. They're going to stay undefeated if they are undefeated. But they lost last week. Yeah, they lost. Okay. I want to say Packers, though. But, Zeke's going to try to do his thing. Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott. We're going to see what we get from Aaron Jones, the Packers, Geronimo Allison, Valdez Scantling, who's going to emerge, who's going to show their potential, what they can actually be. In the primetime game tonight, we have the Colts and the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes, Jacoby Brissett squaring off tonight. I think you're going to have to score with these. You're going to have to score with the Chiefs. Indianapolis can definitely do it. Their defense, see if they have Leonard back and Malik Hooker, see if they get them back this week. I'm not sure. Haven't really seen the injury report. Hopefully they're playing because that's going to be huge if they are, because I think they played them last year in a playoff game, and the Colts actually were in it to the end. But the Chiefs, how their offense is explosive, very explosive. I like the Chiefs in that one though. Watch out for the Colts though. Hopefully Marlon Mack plays tonight. He's been questionable all week. Hopefully he plays, does good. I might throw him in my fantasy matchup. Let me know if y'all think I should. So the game ends until 8:20 tonight. So let me know if y'all think I should put Marlon Mack in my fantasy matchup over Aaron Jones or Geronimo Allison in my flex, or even Joe Mixon. Y'all think I should do that? Let me know. And tomorrow, the 8 o'clock game, the Browns and the Niners. Man, Jimmy Garoppolo, that 3-headed running back core they got with Breida, Jeff Wilson. I don't know if Coleman's still back there. They've been running the ball pretty good. Defense been playing good. I think the Browns they're finding their stride a little bit as well, though, after losing those first couple games, getting blown out by Tennessee. I think they're getting their heads on right. I think Baker threw for over 300 yards last week, only 1 touchdown, but they're looking better. Nate Chubb, it's going to be hard to stop that boy because he's an animal right now. You see what he did to the Ravens defense. So I think I like the Browns in that one as well on Monday night. Tomorrow, 8:15. Those are my picks. A little bit of fantasy talk as well. Some players you might want to start. Check it out. Looks like some pretty good games today. Can't wait for this beautiful, beautiful Sunday of football. Y'all let me know any advice. Y'all want, anything y'all want me to talk about on next video, let me know. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share. Get me out there, man. Give me any feedback, any advice. I would love to hear it from y'all. Let me know. Thank y'all for tuning in.